Так, у нас 16-я часть прохождения диска. Я уже, честно говоря, подустала. Ну, вообще, не знаю, может быть, и от этой игры, в принципе, а может быть, и вообще. Ну, в жару сидеть, играть, это такое, блядь, удовольствие, конечно. Надо водички налить сейчас. Вот. Немножко сейчас там тучи пошли у меня. И ветер более-менее относительно свежий подул. Вот, я сейчас открыл окно. У меня хоть в комнате более-менее сносно стало. На троечку с минусом. Хоть жить можно, более-менее. Вот. А до этого пизда, 31 градус, блядь. Ну это я не говорю, что это прям много. Потому что недавно было 36, например. Сидишь как водище, блядь. Каком-то. Ладно. Что там у нас по списку квестов? Возьмите, разбогатейте, найдите орудие убийства. Я не знаю, где это. Рабочее оружие, которое ставит пулемет калибра 4,46. Где я тебе возьму? Долорес Дэй фигурки. Я не знаю, где это, в какие фигурки мне там взять. Вам нужны все элементы брони. Вот, треники Фалму Куна купить. Вот с этой мадам надо поговорить как-то. Вот, но для этого нужно попасть вот сюда. Вот. А как туда попасть, я не знаю. Давайте посмотрим. Ну.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk. Kuno's Kuno. You already know that slow shit. Kuno thinks you have brain damage or some shit. Kuno cares.
Kuno, stop being nice to the pig! Step away from Kuno, fat...
Ease off, see. Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno can do. What else you want, Pigman? The fuck about it? Your test.
Get lost,
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
И как я ее куплю, если у меня
The fuck do
просто
you want
тупо...
with it? Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff ring. Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, Kuno,
Блядь,
good call,
говнище.
Pigmeister.
Не
Don't come
знаю.
and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Понятия не имею. Где здесь
Kuno doesn't...
опция по покупке, блядь, штанов, ёпта.
An old call box. East Delta Commerce Center. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an
Хуй его знает, блядь.
Hi, Ace Detective.
a small mountain of colorful board.
Hello again, Steve.
Shelves fill to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective. Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and Them, a worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere. Then this is the book for you. Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
У меня есть теория безумная.
Several maps have been attacked. The maps look.
Короче, нужно купить эту книжку.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime.
Вот, давайте сохранимся. И там о этой
Shelves full
Дее
of biographies of.
надо
A
почитать.
true cultural touchstone.
Величайший светоч. Давайте.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. That's the spirit. Here we go. Oh yeah, this is what I was made. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Her colors are silver. Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible. A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. That is unimportant. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even as the first question too easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, incorrect. Vespa Messina is correct. Named Franco Ned. Question 3. Got it under control. No problem. Correct. The most final stretch. I've got it. Honest. Correct. Everything from congratulations on finishing a B. Good enough. Everyone misses a few from time. You would have done better if you just dialed the Dolores Day down a bit. You are shouting at an inanimate object like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have...
Какая-то хуйня, короче, одним словом. Это была какая-то хуйня. И давайте перезагрузимся. Догадка была неверная. Ладно, не думаю, что здесь что-то можно... Так, что это было? Опять какая-то хуйня. Так.
I like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on recon again. Yes, I was standing right here. I saw it. Why are you telling me this? Right.
Давайте посмотрим сначала этот сэндвич. Где же предметы? Вот он, сэндвич.
The ham sandwich looks fresh and nutritious in your hand, begging to be eaten.
Всем назад сейчас будет крошево съесть сэндвич. Меня не купишь. Бросить сэндвич на землю, брать сэндвич. Окей, ну давай поделимся с дедом вот с этим.
I like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal
Что?
instincts. Feels like being on recon again.
Блять. Ну вы шутите. Пиздец. Ой, бля.
I like playing in the dark. Yes, I was standing right here. I saw it. Why are you telling me this?
What? No! Old Hungry René doesn't even have taste buds. It would be a complete...
Silence! Since you put it that way, I symbolically accept your cordial gesture. Forever, Shoal.
Consuming food is a mechanical process for him. He doesn't enjoy it. Like a machine, the old man looks devastated as he observes you and René strengthen your manly bond over his culinary wonder.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How...
Ему ничего не произошло. Блять. Сейчас попробуем, ну, типа, втроем съесть его. Ой, бля, заманал. Вся. Тут такие квесты остались, короче, я их даже и не могу понять вообще на самом деле. Что там дальше делать?
It is...
I like playing in the... Yes, I was standing right here. I saw it. Why are you telling me? No! I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish with this sandwich bonanza. All of this is very unprofessional. Makes me think the citizens' militia is nothing but a badly organized band of bullies and...
No, officer. René doesn't know what he's saying.
He's afraid what might happen if his opinionated partner is allowed to speak his mind freely.
You are representing an organization, an insignia, an idea.
It's clear these words mean
Everything you do reflects on the idea and the people you are representing. When we think of the RCM, we think of you. Please make it a pleasant thought. Fine. You live, learn, and move on. The matter is closed. Now what can this old car...
Понятно. Еще раз перезагрузка.
like playing. Yes.
What? No!
Silence!
Consuming food like a machine. The old man looks devastated as he observes you and Rene strengthen your man. As Rene
Yes.
turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight, and two, the larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal, a crowned head in front of two crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in suzerain's armed forces. A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frizzle I during the Revolution.
For bravery. For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. When men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shot themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken King Frizzle, thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you...
He really despises that dry sand fellow.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Coron. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage. I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw. Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee. I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau...
The bane of horses.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Tresson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one. Right. So I grabbed the prick and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th cap. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jealous freak convinced Frizzle to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received this.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished.
Because he was a goddamn dandy. Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving. And 782 Royal Carabiniers are dead because of his...
Whoa, man-loving? Is that even a word? It is not. The old Carabinier stands quietly.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found, and that even while crawling with mangled half-dead prints on his back, he still managed.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong. I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody heroics are only... How did you find the story to be, officer? Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. Oh no, you have to get shot repeatedly, and you need to get your hands bloody too.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand. Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia.
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer.
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Драма. Давайте сейчас драму оденем, так сказать. Так. Драма +1. Угу, давайте. О, логика. Чуть менее буду клоуном. О, давайте вот так. Да.
You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure de Badasserie? Is he dangerous? You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool. In fact, no one dares to say a single thing about the jacket. But believe me, they are all very impressed.
I like playing in the dark. Sharpen your
92%. Но если я тут обосрусь, то это будет пиздец. Я уже обсирался на таком моменте. О, слава богу. Запасом даже выиграл. Здесь будет глубина, длина и нестандартность. В истории стрельбы крови пушных кишок. В другом подходит героизму.
Sure, officer.
Конечно, полицейский.
Let's hear your take. I'm not following you.
He'll get it. Don't worry. Just continue. He's gonna be impressed. The man stares at you. Sight doesn't look like he's imagining it.
Puh. You're talking about getting blackout shit-faced drunk and going into delirium, right? How so, then? And I thought getting my knee shattered and surviving on rat carcasses in the trench was bad. Here, have one of my medals. You've earned it, officer.
Your sarcasm will be your undoing, old man. The veteran of numerous armed conflicts extends his right arm with the setting sun in his clenched fist and an expression of utter disbelief in his eyes.
Was there something else you wanted to take from us?
Забрать. Ну-ка, давайте посмотрим, что там за, собственно. Так, плащ где? Так, за предмет. Это точно не оно. Пуля. А где это? Так, нет, одежда. А, вот она. +1 риторика. А куда она дает? Правую руку. Seriously? Прикольно. Темно-синяя звезда блестит внутри лучезарного оранжевого солнца. Ее можно только заслужить. Ну чё, нормально, без каких бы то ни было там. Я эту красную проверку прошел. Давайте сдадим. Нафиг. Все это.
The tear machine stand. Your bottles clunk.
0:30. А, это на шею. Ага, это на шею. Тут драма. А тут риторика. Ну, в принципе, нормально, нормально, нормально. Проверка там, все такое, нормально. Но могли бы риторику дать +2 на самом деле. Потому что звезда-то пиздатая, типа. Вот. Хорошо, погнали на побережье. И там будем спать в лачуге, короче, бесплатно. У меня-то деньги, конечно, есть еще на 2 дня. Вот, но будем спать бесплатно. Может, деньги на что-то еще понадобятся, да? Кто его знает. Как там оно дальше пойдет.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Блять, ну что, ждем, наверное, с 9 часов, наверное, можно спать, скорее всего. Еще пока рано спать. О, что это такое?
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Мыло или не снимешь? Какая-то опасная бритва. Ух ты, побриться, это правильно? Правильное решение.
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the... A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew.
Координация. Давайте сейчас побреемся, да. Координация нужна. Блять, у меня и нету координации так-то. На самом деле. Ну давай,
On the
ладно.
table, you see a bowl of water, a
Давай.
rough soap. Your
Да,
hand
я так и
trembles
думал.
as you scratch your cheek.
Держащей рукой
Oh
скажешь все
no,
еще
that's not how a grown
мужчина.
man shaves. Stop, for
Ooh.
crying out loud. You're gonna cut your own throat. The razor lands with a clang. A red trickle begins to spread in the water.
Бритва с лязгом падает, в воде начинает оставаться красная струйка. Заебись, блять. Охуенно. Что там можно полистать? В плане предметов. Так.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches. It's still kind of...
Я уже читал.
It's just a racist mug. But it will not happen. The mug... The note is written. The worn map features... In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, the back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eye in cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugoslavia riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored. The Yugoslavia riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
Ой-ой.
They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And she spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers. ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit. As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret. In cold, did the Yugo Grad as ethnic tensions, it would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
Ай, блядь, опять. Ну и чё? Дальше что?
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. What, you're still coming up with sentences. Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now.
Блядь, да вы шутите нахуй. Что за говно? Почему я однажды уже прочитав эту хуйню, еще получаю урон, блядь? Че это за говнище, блядь, ебучее нахуй? Ладно, окей. Короче, бежим, ёпта. Пиздец, у меня жопа помпанула нахуй с этой хуеты, блядь. Просто пиздец. Давай, заходи, ёбаный рот.
The tear machine
Да ёб твою мать, блядь.
your bottles.
Отлично. Ёпта, уходим. Все, иди нахуй отсюда. Ты же говно. Давайте сохраняться. Я ебал.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap. The water, a fresh start looms ahead. Clean like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman. You use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath. The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt, you almost look like a professional. The beardless nature of your cheeks makes the expression seem even more like a terrifying grimace.
Заебись, блядь. Охуенно. Ну давай читать эту книжку ебучую. Это будет компенсация за то, что я, блядь, меня так игра жестко наказала за то, что я книжку всего лишь почитал, блядь.
In your hands, you flip real art. The back cup, she can't be much up in cold. The Yugo as ethnic, it would physically hurt you to keep. They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment. She spends the memory of their short time spent together as life leaves their remains between the soil sheets. Their fun.
Все, блядь. Теперь можно спать, кстати. Я, по крайней мере, надеюсь, что
The
можно
bed is
спать. Да,
comforting, if a bit run down. Still,
спать, спать. Тун-ду-ду.
the bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum,
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there?
this bastard isn't even.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people.
Hear that? Iceman wants to sleep. He doesn't care about killing people. That is much, much worse than that.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back into
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Так, отлично. Вставай, Гарри, вставай. Пора. Чё он сидит не на кровати, а тут на стуле? Что за говно? Ну-ка, давайте посмотрим.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
Опа!
You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven
На стене
face.
висит старая
You're still not
грязь.
accustomed to it.
Зеркало ты видишь, да? Непривычно. Побрился. Давайте-ка электрохимию ебанем. Одежда. Электрохимия. Так, штаны. Вот, перчи. Электрохимия. А тут что? Электрохимия. Ладно, хуй с ней. Ладно. Очки там вроде как были. А, у меня их нету. Очки на электрохимию
The
есть.
pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something, soft, yet crinkly. Hey,
Что это?
it's a chewing gum wrapper.
Опачки.
It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. By the way, the raw materials were most likely exported from Seaguy, the apricot suzerainty, and processed in Sur-le-Clay into the apricot.
Хорошо, давайте-ка
An
посмотрим.
old mirror hangs on the wall.
58% уже достойно. Ну давайте.
The expression
Поехали.
affixed to your still
Ну,
not happening.
понятный, да.
It won't come off
Не,
that easy.
просто она не отклеится. Естественно. Энциклопедия. Ай, блядь, ну ладно, эктохимию как-нибудь качну, блядь, ёб твою мать совсем. Ой. Что там еще? Перчатки. Так. Так. Количество патронов один. Один патрон у меня. Найс. Ну ладно, уходим отсюда. Сейчас будем с алкашами разговаривать. Финальный разговор там будет у меня. Ну, Ким тут? Да, Ким тут. Доброе утро.
Yes. Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps. I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been.
Yeah, damage. He
Either way, good on you. You were saying? Okay, let's talk about it. You stole the boats. Congratulations. That must have taken an enormous concerted effort. Considerable ingenuity.
lie. Lie to get out of it.
Угу.
Sure. Anyway, did you want something? Related to police work?
Да не сдает он, короче. Ладно, давайте это с этой подругой поговорим. Хорошо. Пойдемте дальше. Алкаши тут? Нет, что-то смотрите, алкашей нету по утру. Странно, странно это все. Была мысль какая-то, но я ее что-то упустил. Хорошо, к полицейской машине поехали. Уже за это можно было бы в тюрьму, наверное, отправиться.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and
Precinct 57, how may I assist? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? 57.
in the cabin.
Хорошо. А, да, тело жертвы на экспертизу, да. Точняк.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Давай.
All right. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Так, он уехал. Хорошо. Дальше. Орудие убийства. Ну вот, Алисе на следующий день, чтобы получить информацию о владельце брони. Алисе, блядь. Алиса. Кто такая Алиса? Кто такая Алиса, блядь? Что за говно? О, дедов нету, кстати, смотрите. Может быть рано еще.
Officer,
Вот он сидит.
care to play a game with the lonely old man?
Офицер, на лице Гастона больше не осталось радости. Не сыграете ли разок? С одиноким стариком?
Actually,
Хотя
never
надо,
mind.
всё равно это будет
Wouldn't be
неплохо.
the same.
Где Рене?
The prick is gone.
Ух ты!
I can barely believe it.
Козла больше
But
нет, отвечает Гастон.
he's really
Судья,
gone.
и да, он верит, на него правда нет.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home. Cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes, and sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him.
That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth. Something to keep in mind if you really plan to give yourself to Revachol.
No, René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable. I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old vibe. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that, yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a Kent, and he died a Kent. I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old Kent. Nobody knew him better than I did. And I want to remember.
Strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
Старики умирают, тебе тоже приготовиться, лол. Ношу свои изменения. Искренне, соболезно точнее.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. about anything really. But you must need something. Yes, it is what it is. I just don't know anymore.
Все, понятно. Да, печально, конечно, довольно-таки. Печально, да.
The tracks are as they have ever been, a bit more worn perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweep, yes, and ended up half sunken in the sea. You must have been, maybe, probably.
Ну, 5 опыта, видите, за хуйню за какую-то. Так, погнали, значит, дальше.
Right to work!
All I'm wondering.
Интересно, а как уехал Кицураги, если...
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you
Как
as you pick up the
уехал
handset.
Кицураги, если мост поднятый все еще? Что за говно?
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952. And a moment of hesitation before entering. Calling. Calling. Still calling.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as...
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here. No. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November 46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one. It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Egidius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia. No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Main.
The call is terminated by the other party.
Ладно, хотя бы хоть что-то получил, какую-то, ну, какую-то крупицу опыта, так скажем. Сейчас убьем двух зайцев, короче.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, Rene, take it. It's just there. Who cares? It's not like anyone's gonna need it. As you take the colorful uniform, a few cookie crumbs fall to the floor. Rene must have had a sweet tooth.
Ну-ка. О, две формы, смотрите. +1 к национальной гордости Ревашоли, гордый националист.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If the container door appears unmoved by your attack, a tough nut to crack for sure, but the strongest containers often have the softest hearts. The door does not respond to your advances. Is it possible that it seems somehow more closed than before?
Ладно. Бля, ну давай, риторика, ёпта, давай. Давай. Работа,
Despite the
есть.
dirt that surrounds and trails
Это на всю грязь
you, a
убрать.
beacon of light emerges from deep within you.
Есть там
The
кто-нибудь?
door stands side dry again.
Еще раз, если там кто-нибудь есть, давайте
Just like that, you hear a click,
Сдается,
then
что
a rattle.
там скрипт.
Some mechanism unlocks itself.
Механизм. Отлично. Ого, кто это? Светоискривляющий тип. Супер богатый. Из глубин контейнера раздается голос. Эй, входите. Охренеть. Открыл. Ёбаный бобаный, что это?
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You can't. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it in the general stillness. Only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says.
Now, what can I do for you, good sir? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Theodore, investor, license holder, and a pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well. To be perfectly blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself all I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing.
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because but then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified, some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. Precisely, Mr. Dubois. You know, I hear people talk sometimes about economic equality and fairness, but tell me, where would a nightmare scenario, a world of slavery and violence? Where we are right now, the freedom of mankind can only be derived from the free flow of capital. It is truly. It's almost entirely carefree. It really leaves you time to better your...
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need.
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Sirens, a precursor of a modern ssылке, used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
A fellow history buff. I myself am currently reading up. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money. There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. There are always more, and they never seem to do anything interesting with it. Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that. Smart, no? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subject to. Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois. What? No, I didn't say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that. What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? I've never heard anybody say anything about my chin. Yet, I know that people often tell each other being rich does not make one impervious to the human condition. Maybe I do have a strange chin, and you're the first person to call me out on this. Not that you should, but you... Sure. Let me check my pockets. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? That's the idea, my friend. You've got to work for the rest. Maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan.
These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
%. Немыслимо предложить план инвестиций, который обречен на провал.
Thanks for stopping by. If you ever have an idea you want to pitch me.
Выслушаю. Ну давайте посмотрим. Концептуализация, да, там нужна была или как?
Welcome back, friend.
Да. Ну давайте смотреть концептуализация, блять. Хорошо. Вот это вот очень сильно раздражает, когда ты на этих проверках должен постоянно чекать вот эти свои шмотки. Да, все.
Welcome back, friend. What can I do for you?
Давайте.
Congratulations. You've somehow managed to fail at failing, which means, in a strange way, that you've succeeded.
A youth center, huh? What kind of youth center?
Come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
Там детям
I like that you're thinking about the future, but couldn't the center have a more economic focus? Brilliant. Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future? When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes? What's the expected return on this?
То есть я провалил эту хуйню, и нужно было наоборот действовать. Лол, я об этом не подумал. Короче, типа, нужно было... Ну, таким образом я ему предложил реальную, как бы... как это сказать? То есть я хотел провалиться. То есть не провалиться, я хотел, скажем так, чтобы у меня сработала, ну, проверка, да, это, но предложить ему хуёвый план. А у меня, наоборот, сложилось так, что я провалил эту проверку, и я предложил хороший план, короче. То есть все наоборот. Так.
You're deep into ultra-liberal territory now. Good work.
Very impressive. You've got a natural eye for unusual invest. I don't normally do this without a formal pitch deck, but to hell with it. What's the point of being rich if you have to pierce the round of seed funding? This should be enough to prove out the concept and get things off the ground.
Большая сумма. Ну там нет, Цураги давал там типа эту хуйню, но мне нужно было их сразу эти 130 реалов потратить на погашение долга, поэтому это я сам типа взял эти деньги. Вот ваш стартовый капитал. Это должно хватить, чтобы реализовать концепцию и запустить проект. Спасибо за твою невершимую веру в меня.
Remember, it's not a handout.
Инвестиции.
It's an investment. And I expect to see it.
Ну хорошо. Тихо. Больше ничего нету, кстати, здесь. Ожидает оно видеть результат. Хорошо. Давайте к этому черту зайдем. Жирному. Ну, я даже не знаю. Я даже не знаю. Это же не удочка, правда? Это... Что это? А что это? Да нет, удочка на самом деле.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today? Mega rich light bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich light bending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the mega-rich guy inside the container and harvest his energy to power the harbour's fog lights. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
А что мне еще остается делать? Наверное, мне придется брать вот этот вот квест, потому что... Богатейте. Я не знаю, что еще делать. Я не знаю, что делать еще надо, блять. Я не знаю. У меня вообще никаких идей нету, блять, куда там бежать и что делать.
Mr. Dubois, you bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard that once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a real Kingsman and a patriot.
Ой, блядь. Ну, я не знаю просто, что делать здесь, в этой ситуации. Пиздец. А вот тут еще есть, смотрите-ка. Штанга. Столько всего. это было.
All the traps are stopped now, and still no sight of the phasmid.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Внушение. Блять, а на внушение у меня что-то есть вообще? По-моему... По-моему, не было. Да, есть одна штуковина. Так. Да, вот в этой хуйне придется. Ну давайте.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel
Блять,
it.
плохо.
The
Ну
wind is
давайте,
turning
ладно.
southeast.
Oh yes, she does.
Понятно.
You need to get your drink on.
О, да, так
There
и
is
есть,
no
нужно
other way
двигать.
for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
Ославим Гуля. Гуль дает близость возможно. Гуль делает близость возможно. Давай установим связь. Да у нее пизда разъебанная, у нее 3 ребенка, блядь. 3 личинуса, блядь. Ты чё? Там теперь целое ведро.
Okay. Where's this going? Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer.
She doesn't even understand you asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.
Печально.
Were you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the union building? What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought.
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
That Everard and the union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess you...
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter.
He has a pen in everything. Here you go. I shouldn't have. Probably, but it is a youth centre and I have children. Got to give them something else to do. They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. I had my first drink when I was... Anyhow, you also need Isabel's signature. It's a bad idea. She won't sign.
Sound logic. Division of labor. She leaves the skepticism to the skeptic.
Давайте попробуем еще раз.
Get the
Ну, я
drink
опять
on.
пососал.
It would be unimaginable for a human female to have sex with a man without alcohol, as the master of ceremonies to guide them.
What? Funny. Funny sailor jokes. Sorry if I'm not laughing out loud, but the comedy has worn thin over the years.
It's okay. She just hasn't figured out how these things work between the sexes. Keep at it. She'll come around.
Жаль, жаль. Жаль. Ну ладно, давайте дальше.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all this scribble.
Test the waters here. Say that there's nothing to be worried about.
A deal with who? It's the Border Union, isn't it? Thought so. So what do the Clare brothers want this time? Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. I see Lillian's name is already here. The girl is too trusting. Either way, I won't sign union papers. I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises they never plan to keep. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the rich get a little richer. That's the way it goes. So,
Ну
no,
так и есть.
I don't
Да,
trust
бабка
the fat
молодец.
men,
Все так и
and
есть.
neither should you.
Чистая правда.
In her mind, the Union is right-wing because Everard is fat. It's that simple. She is headstrong, but there's a slight hesitation in there. You may be able to convince her.
Ну давайте попробуем. Плюс один горе хорошее имя. Доверяет постояльцу.
It's
Блять,
really in her
пососал.
best interest to
Да
listen.
что ж мне на ролл не везет,
You
блять.
know how
Сколько я уже провалил вот этих вот роллов на 58%, блять. Я хуею просто, блять.
I've heard that pitch before plenty. Building this, building that, new jobs, new blood. Somehow the people here always end up holding the short end of the stick. Were you dropped on the head as a kid? Do you know who takes the cream off these deals? Real estate developers. Can't have some integrity. You're an officer of the law, not some fat...
It's okay. She's emotional right now. Keep at it. You know, there could be another way. You'll need to go someplace private and discreet, though. Like your shack.
Блять, пососал, ёптать. Чё тут скажешь? Да. Ну, давайте поговорим с алкашами.
Tequila sunset. Of course. Drink first, story later. Interesting. Ah, this is what they use to keep the working man going. This last one is the most Martinet story I've ever heard. I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 magic animals. No, man, this is serious stuff. No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. Hey, hey! Fuck you, Tequila. All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people. You know, obsessive types. People with... Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. Others don't The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be too much for you to handle. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya. That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend. Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass...
A paradigm-shattering revolutionary?
But then something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand. You know Tequila, nose candy, the White Railroad, party powder.
He's talking about cocaine, baby.
Shit yeah, Tequila. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that regular amounts of cocaine just weren't cutting it. By the end, they were bringing it in by the lorry load. Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be healthy for a regular human, right?
Right. Wrong. Do it all the time. All day, baby.
Hey, Tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance. An advert so Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine." I know, Tequila. I know. But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly 1/4 kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity.
That's almost certainly anatomically impossible. Wrong again, nerd. Where there's a will, there's a...
That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade Saramaritsian pure. Not that... There are those who believe the designer was buried with this 1/4 key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull. Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world-famous design studio, was born in Martinez. A local boy, Martin Martinet. That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why they buried him here, too. Perhaps, or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
My only question is, where does one get a shovel?
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum, the gangsters say they want to sell it on the black market, and the ad agency guys say they're seeking inspiration.
Bullshit. They just want to snort it. But you could beat them to it, Harry. You could snort.
I'm pretty sure they all just want to snort.
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Don't listen to him or his grandma. He's just making things up.
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too. That it's underwater. Or no, maybe it was the storm sewers.
They're pretty vague about it in general. The gangsters like to claim that the archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. Honestly, the junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say they're looking...
Honest men on an honest quest. You should join them.
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute.
What?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to... And second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the cocaine. It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
Wait, maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast?
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance. Not that I can think of, currently. That might be the case, yes.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy? So what do you want? I've got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I've got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine. Hi, by amphetamine I mean speed. Sure did, buddy boy. That's why I said amphetamine. I mean speed. I mean amphetamine. I got both. Aye, that's what I said. Good, good, my man. Now what can I offer you? see, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know what's crazy, actually?
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What?
Keep him talking.
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the... I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, those arseholes. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. The idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead thingies. Swipe 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila. What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7%.
Snakes or intestinal worms?
2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
Don't say it.
Yeah, be careful. It's extremely flammable. One spark and the entire city of Revachol is wiped off the map.
Feels like someone set a mustard field ablaze right inside your nose, then drenched it in tear gas. Your nose is a singular source of pain, but at the same time you don't remember the... In all fairness, that might be attributed to the retrograde and...
So, what's the deal, friend? Want the spirits or not? 3 real and it's yours, friend.
Well done. That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
Oh, the system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the back. You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor ex-squeeze. Sold 2 to the... Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I got everyone on my hook.
The hook? Where is it? I can't see it.
Hermit? Who gives a shit? You want to buy something? Grease the wheels, buddy boy. Oh, you see, friend, bought cigarettes?
The hook? Where is it?
Of course, of course, of course. It is what it is, you know. What it's always been.
He has long forgotten what you were talking about.
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail! Abigail. Oh, Abigail. Uh-huh. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk. He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer. He waves his hand as if shooing you away, all the while murmuring something indecipherable. He snorts and...
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible.
Don't call Abigail. Don't you fucking call her. Hear me? Abigail?
The drunk man starts.
Don't call.
Нормально.
Tequila Sunset.
Да. Я самый, блядь. Что там с этой бутылкой-то? Ну-ка. Это конверт, вот. А, обертка. А спиртовая фляжка где? Инструменты. Одежда, предметы. Тут нет ничего.
There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. Smells like the end of some distant summer. The surface of a... Yes, from the height of antiquity. A long, long time ago. Millennia ago. On an island of... The sun sets into the sea, but the water does not boil. Instead, it turns to... There is a movement next to you. The shuffle of a small coat. Warm like the evening. But when you turn toward it, there's no... Why are you talking to a gum wrapper? Bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger, like a glow, with every... Whatever petrochemical byproducts they used to create this artificial flavor have bonded tightly to the wrapper. Or is that just your memory filling the gaps? Until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts behind your closed eyes. Made of toffee, cream, and distance. You just had to take a dive.
Так, а где же я? Пивчанский. Где Пивчанский-то? Я не вижу пива, где? В смысле, спирт, то есть, спирт. Бля. Ну так неинтересно. Я вроде бы купил.
The legend returns. You know the
А,
dance.
вот. Я не
Smokable
покупал.
smokes.
Вот деньги за спирт.
Just make sure to enjoy
Вытягивает.
that one, friend.
Бутылку, не забудь получить удостоверение. Удовольствие от каждой капли друг.
If you drink this, then you'll die.
Это факт.
That's a fact.
Спасем.
And that's why we're going to save you from
Раздел на
yourself
продажу.
and store
Иди в
this
ломбард и
as a
продай эту
sellable
штуку.
item.
Ага. Хорошо. 8. Это чисто 99 на спирт. Не подноси его к открытому огню. Ой, бля. Ладно, давайте подойдем к тем чувакам. У меня одно есть. Как там убеждение, да, какое-то там, или как там трепет. Так, решить внушение. А, ну внушение я ничего не смогу сделать, короче. По поводу внушения.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Внушение, блять.
concrete structure. All the traps are stopped now.
Ну, давайте в церковь зайдем. Ну и мысль тут что-то не приходит ничего в голову.
Oh, the god of dance is back! I'm dancing with the god of dance! Goodbye, officer.
Welcome to the Rebel Show! Yeah! Harder, car!
Так, давайте, грубая сила, да? Давайте, короче, это один. Понятно. Ну, давайте пробовать. 58%. Ну что, пососу опять? Ну-ка. Давай.
Even dancing to this beat before, you knew it in your lungs where the pressure wasn't bursting, and in your heart that was alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should have landed. So
What? Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from? I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
the young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile, as if
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix.
Yeah, maybe that street talker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea.
there is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons blowing in the wind.
Oh, I know! I know this!
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags in the industrial harbour.
I knew that!
And the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now. Maybe you should dance again, huh? That would be mega! It was mega the way you did that.
Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman!
Хорошо. Ага, комп включить можно? Что-то, слушайте, комп не включается больше.
Yo, man.
Так, ладно. Это подруга. Блять. Скорость реакции. А тут этот чел есть?
Oh, hey, man. Goodbye, officer.
Ладно, уходим. Давайте попробуем найти.
You
Крипто-животное.
pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you end of tone? Someone.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre?
Say you're not Pierre. That seems like a better idea. You don't know why.
Do you have any news about Pierre? He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country. To hell with the police.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly. Calling. Still someone with a masculine voice.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, no. What you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
Who is this?
Ну, смотрите, блядь, то есть ты можешь представить даже Пьером вот этим, который из предыдущего звонка. Это просто лол, блядь. Давайте пошутим, блядь. А чё? В отрыв уйдем немножечко.
Who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like that?
Это чувак, который трахает твою жену, Жерара. Теперь позови ее к телефону, не испытывай мое терпение.
Just tell me what's going on here. Bien, come here.
The sounds are muffled. You can make out two people, a man and a woman called. Amid the howling in the wire, you make out a woman's voice with a thick Samaran accent. Gerard, Gerard, this is more shouting. You're pretty sure you hear a man saying fuck several times. Then the crackle in the phone line gets violently louder, like the surf breaking.
Это пиздец, блядь. И снова раздаются крики. Мужчина совершенно точно несколько раз сказал «бля». Я не собираюсь останавливаться, я буду и дальше трахать твою жену, Жерара. Невозможно разобрать ни единого слова.
A child has joined. Something breaks. It falls over. Footsteps approaching.
Невозможно разобрать ни единого слова. Слышно лишь гул голосов.
Something hits the phone with a loud crack of plastic and microphone hiss. After that, you are left with calling, 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 still call, still.
Stop calling me, man.
Опа.
I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work.
О! Слушайте, прикольно. Кажется, у вас неприятности, нужна помощь, я из полиции. Ага, и он тут же бросит трубку, блядь. На всем стоит быть немного добрее к окружающим, не правда ли? Считай, что твой долг оплачен, друг мой. Ага.
Tethys. Hey! You're not Tethys.
Нет, это же
Screw you, and don't ever call here again.
Серьезных ребят,
You're fucking...
Disconnect tone.
Ну, понятно.
Calling.
Я попробовал, да.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
Writing. I hate writing so much.
The man disappears with a... You do not hear the customary disconnect tone. Just seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying. You close your eyes and put
Я бы
your
охуел,
index
если бы
finger
сейчас
on
у меня
the
с
rotary dial.
97%, сейчас я бы обосрался. Это был бы просто
Then move
пиздец.
one up and repeat the
самом
motion
деле.
twice. Strange. This is not how you started before. You dialed 001. This is not the area code of Revachol. It is 005 is Revachol, ZOC. 001 is Grad. On the Grad ISO 414447. The rotary dial feels cold from 1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling. Yes, 451 67 451. You are going deep. 451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal, an ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before calling. Calling, pitiful and terrifying. You feel your pulse calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. You can't.
Естественно.
Some strange force is keeping the headset glued to your hand. Calling, 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 calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges.
Hello?
О, сейчас его раздавит нахуй. Кто это? Такой красивый голос. Ну да, ничего, такой сексуальный.
Who is this? Dora, who is this? The connection is bad.
In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next
Ну
to
понятно, понятно. Новый ёбарь,
bed
блядь.
springs rattle. No answer. You're not sure, but you think you hear a man's voice in the background.
No, no. It's you, isn't it? It's you. What?
Я хочу жить с тобой.
Oh no. Is that you?
This is too much. You need to recede.
Oh no, not this. What time is it? You're not a Kingsman, Harry. You're drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
О, блядь. Ты с ним спишь? Я тоже Гарри, лол. Я под кайфом.
Oh God. Do you know what time it is? It's so late here. It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours.
Да. Различные желания, лол.
Yes. Yes, I'm in my rover. Sleeping. To work. The academy, where I work.
Блять.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
Да, блядь, ладно.
No. I want to go to sleep.
She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money.
О, жестко, 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 жестко. Да. Печаль.
You dial the number again. 26 pulls of the rotary dial. The machine in the middle of it. A familiar ring. Small, calling, calling. calling, calling. It looks like she doesn't want to pick it up, Harry. Stop scaring her. Come on, you know why. The headset lands in the cradle with...
Бля, ну это было интересно. Давайте будем честны, это было интересно. Вот туда можно будет попасть, вот туда. Наверное, через бункер, наверняка.
Hello, isn't this a...
All the traps are stopped now, and still. All the traps are...
Печально.
Our tenant.
Куда там надо? К каналу и попробовать найти записи, которые можно использовать для основного. А, я понял. Канал. Может быть, тут что есть? О, точно.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure, let me have a look. Alright, let's see it. Oh no, 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 no. I don't need bloodthirsty mercenaries knocking on my door looking for their missing toys. Besides, this gear costs a fortune. There's no one in Martinez with that kind of money. Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale. A photic path, counter-radiance network, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos on the man are not that.
More than sure. What else have you got? More than sure. What else have you got? Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Если что, я потом продам.
Another time, perhaps.
Денег у меня все равно хватает, так что пока что даже продавать незачем. 150 реалов есть, как бы, это нормально. Тем более я сплю в хижине, теперь мне больше не нужно каждый день 20-ку отдавать.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them with net worth.
Давайте
Good
купим.
starter pair, officer. And when you're ready to upgrade, come back.
Электрохимия мне поможет в какой-то момент.
You keep coming back. That's
If he really wants to save the
Самообладание
economy,
трепет.
he'd let you pay.
everything still cool here, officer. Tapes? You mean like music tapes? No, music is out. Don't listen to music. I sell extremely cool sunglasses. Tapes? Tapes are everywhere. They're worthless. Kids throw them in the trees. There's one in the bushes, right behind this lorry. No one would ever throw a good pair of high-quality plastic sunglasses in the bushes, mister.
To the west, dark brown ribbons of tape hang from the tree. You should have a look. It's better than nothing.
Да, это лучше, чем ничего. Так.
The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches, fluttering in the breeze. Just like promised, you've stood here for what seems like eons, guzzling the sickly fumes of lorries and carriages. Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads, RCM Emergencies Desk, number 8102. The bronze ribbon twists around and within the branches in an intricately natural pattern. But there's something. There's a twisted logic in this mess. You see the ends of the ribbon, the way it flows, how it twists and turns. It's all starting to make sense. It'll be easier to remove now. With slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending, and unraveling, you manage to extricate the magnetic tape from the branches. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to re-spool it, so that you could hear what's on the tape. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help you with this.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. You mean re-spool it? Yeah, I do, but... But I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Or the...
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
Huh? What do you mean? Yes, what about it? Is it any good? The music, I mean. Man, you're really invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just...
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll do what I can for True Passion Project. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions. Take responsibility.
Ну, погнали.
Yeah! Harder car!
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
A hand on his ear. He listens to the audio.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself? Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. be unbelievably...
What is this? It's good. How did you guys do that?
Yes, but what if Van Eyck based his remix on some forgotten local melody, like a folk song, and you just found the original piece that inspired him to create this jam? That would explain why it...
Nah, to me it sounds like classic Van Eyck. I don't think he needs any inspiration from folk songs. Maybe he lives in Martinez and just threw away part of his song because he thought...
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent. No. This is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits! Bring up the volume!
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
Hardcore! Not exactly the hyper that I was hoping for, but it's definitely ultra!
I think you did an amazing job here, Detective. I would have never thought that Van Eyck could be improved on. But you did it. You made it even better than before.
Yeah, plus it's good to know your limits.
No limits on the dance floor!
Ну, по-моему, заебись же, правильно?
Oh, hey, man. Goodbye, officer.
Yo, man.
Hard cop.
Пачка навыков. Что там у меня? О, техника.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the fountain. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it...
What is this place to you?
Waves crash onto the beach, drowning the reeds. Far to the south, a congregation gathers to a soup kitchen in a shelter for the homeless. An old woman gives out knitted scarves for free. This could have been you. This could still be you. A down on his luck nobody, trying to survive. Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought.
Look.
Загляни под половицы. Под какие половицы я должен заглянуть? В каком месте?
On the table.
Так.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
Так, электрохимия. 42%.
The expression.
Побрился. Не-не-не, давайте улучшим. Мне нужен, короче, вот, электрохимия, очки, вот эти, и что-то там еще было. О, электрохимия. Что еще? О, штаны. Отлично. О, перчатки. Штаны у меня уже есть. Группа сил. Ну вот если сейчас я в этой клоунской одежде не смогу это все сделать, то это пиздец. 92%.
It's like
Да,
something
есть.
snaps in you. A nerve ending. A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you.
Унылый старик. Да, это печально. А, да, и смотрите, вот это вот изменилась аватарка в левом углу нижнем. Прикиньте. Так, что там еще? Штаны какие-то. Да, вот так вот быстрее, кстати. Плащ и штаны. Ну все. Им еще не приехал.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to...
Давайте концептуализацию одевать. Логика. Вон, больше ничего у меня нету.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to
Давай.
see here. Yeah.
Блять, заебало.
Why? It's a wall. An ordinary wall.
Сука, блять, мразь. Ебаное говно, нахуй. Сука. Жопа горит, блядь, с этой хуйни. Стена ебаная меня обоссывает постоянно. Я уже сколько раз я пробовал. Блять. Какие тут еще проверки, блядь, есть?
You're back. Good. I fear I've told you all I know. Is there anything else I can help you with?
She's not even asking you anything. It's so easy to just say.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
My liege, this woman has half convinced herself already. All it would take is a little nudge.
Oh my. A real door. My. What I'm hearing is you inspected a premises because you suspected that it was involved in the narcotics trade. And in the process, you turned up some information relevant to your investigation. Only from Efrat.
Her bartering mind cannot fathom that you didn't ask anything in return.
Misinformation. This is all because we haven't shared information on the lynching yet. See? Already the adversary uses it to their advantage. Don't let him. Hurry up on that probe. The moment you tell me you're finished at the traffic jam, I will gladly tell you the company's side of the story.
She must really want you to look into the drugs. Otherwise, she'd tell you.
How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help you sort this whole business out, if they haven't already. Oh my. Very interesting. So the militant wing is protecting one of their own.
Her mind races to the conclusion that most benefits her interests.
It looks like you may untie this knot yet.
There's something in you that really likes the way she's looking at you just now.
Yes, that's the talk about town. The Hardy Boys, they're called. Find the name rather amusing, honestly. Brinkmanship or saber rattling? Was he surrounded by Union men?
No, it was more like he wanted things to get worse. In secret, of course.
Or he wants you and me to believe he wants to go to...
Of course, brinkmanship takes showmanship. We should have seen it before, in his office. He might well have been performing for us.
I'll think it over, Detective. Thank you for...
Have I underestimated the Union's ferocity? She has to ask herself by now.
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating. Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it? Ah, yes. I've been meaning to go there. A youth centre with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him. Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective.
She is more defensive about it.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information? Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later. Should more lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. What would you like to know? Good. What would you like to know? Oh my, the E word. You mean to say, then what does 33A? Yes, anyway. Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved 33A? This old... Yes, anyway. Officer.
The Crown's qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license?
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officer. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but 2 Insulindic regattas, and finished once. The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now. Technically speaking, you don't. Then certainly you must know that under the Wayfarer Act, the RCM doesn't have the authority to demand anyone's operator license. Freedom of movement and all that.
The Wayfarer Act is one of the few pieces of legislation governing human interaction in the Revachol zone of control. Along with the emergency trade, it's one of the foundational laws in Revachol, designed to limit the authority of local institutions. Part of it prohibits the RCM from requesting. It's a law that keeps Revachol what it is, in limbo.
You may still ask to see my passport. That I'm obliged to share with you. Of course.
The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, the Republic of Vespa, formerly the Republic of Vespa Messina. was once a dual kingdom. An amicable parting of ways produced two constitutional monarchies. Vespa, the richer of the two, is an Occident. It is a stable country, and yet there has always been something ominous about its perfect stability. It's a place at the edge of the moon. The woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you, face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name reads, Rejoice Leighton Messier.
Yes, but please don't call me that. Joyce is much more efficient. My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? I mean, we are on Le Caillou.
Technically, the neighboring ozone, and she nods.
Good. Of course. Anything to help. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad.
Не знаю, какие тут, блядь, аргументы ей можно привести. Где-то диалог. Вот видите, смотрите. Вот. Джойс Месье, вот. Что с ней нужно? Сила воли средняя. Что с ней? В каком диалоге силу воли прояснить? Проявить, точнее, надо. Сейчас дойдем до этой девки, да и эту часть закончим.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to...
Понятно. Ну ладно, давайте на этом прям и закончим. Сохраняемся.